The little man had a rough night last night. He woke up twice, and it took about an hour both times to get him back to sleep. He ended up in our room for most of the night. And he's actually back asleep now. So I'm taking this as a chance to get a few things done. First, I'm starting off with putting the goat doors on the goat shed, finally, so that instead of pulling Juke out of their yard to feed her grain every night, I can just put them both in their sides of the shed because there's a divider down the middle. Close the doors. Patches can't come out of his side, go into her side, and bully her for her grain. So I've got the hinges on the doors now. Now I have to go release the goats so that I can use power tools and try to hold their doors in place to put them on their shed. So let's go. That's one door. That is Patch's door, as it says on it in several spots. That is Juke's door. And hopefully this works. I have a plan for some way to lock them to keep them closed because I think I forgot to buy hardware, but I'm pretty sure I do have hardware for it. But I'm not 100% sure. But I have to find it. And if I can't find hardware, I do have a plan. Okay, boot the goats. Boot the goats. Before I boot the goats out of their yard, I need to make sure my back door is actually closed. Otherwise, I'm going to be chasing Patches through the house. Not something I feel like doing today. In true me fashion, I messed up making these doors. They're very tight fit, and while they fit well, they don't open and close well. So let's check it out. They open. Excuse me, Juke. Excuse me, Juke. Excuse me, Juke. I mean, besides Juke. Let's see if I can do the other side. They open, but then they don't close because this corner on the inside here is hitting the frame. So we're going to have to take like a Sawzall or something and zip those corners off. And then I think it'll work. Worst case scenario, I just have to build new doors. I built these a while ago when I built these bigger doors. And there is also a chance that the wood kind of warped a little bit since I built everything. Because these big doors have been out here for a while. But let me show you the big doors real quick. Patches! Oh my gosh, I just got attacked by a goat. Are you angry? Are you angry? Yeah, I know. You're an asshole. Jesus, man. So, the goal with the big doors is that I'll be able to open them when I need to clean, but still have enough shelter from wind and rain and all that stuff for the goats when the big doors are closed, but they still have access through smaller doors, just so that they're a little bit more sheltered in their little house here, their little shed. Patches, you are just a brat today. You are. He's a terrible goat. So I will get some handles, a way to lock the small doors closed. I have to find the hardware. I swear I bought hardware. And then once Bill gets home, he can zip those corners off because I don't trust myself with a Sawzall. And that should be good for the goat house. For now, hi Patches. For now, I'm just going to leave them open. I'm sure the goats will close them throughout the day, but since they don't close all the way, they'll be able to open them again. Look at this. Got attacked. Got poop on me. What? You're a nightmare. Goats. My little buddy is still asleep. Do you like that? I love that. So my little buddy is still asleep. I'm going to release the Quacken. We've got our teenage ducks out in the duck house. I'm gonna let them free. See how it goes. We're gonna release the Quacken! really just being loud about all the new ducklings that we just released into the yard. I think everything's going to go well. The geese are just going to be loud and mean about it. I haven't seen them actually touch the ducklings yet, which is a plus. I'll keep an eye on them throughout the day. Worst case scenario, I put that piece of wood back with all the ducklings in their little brooder. But I think they're big enough. I think they're ready. We'll see how it goes. I am always prepared to put animals back in the brooder if the introduction doesn't go well. But it's a lot of ducks. And I think because there's enough of them, they have a better chance of standing up against the geese. Right now, the geese are just yelling a lot. Like I said, they haven't actually touched the ducklings. I think they're afraid to. Kiddie pool hack. Because the ducklings are smaller and my water tub right now is just as tall as they are, I don't want them getting stuck in there. So I'm using their kiddie pool that I used in the brooder. If you back up a video or two, you'll see it. But I'm using the kiddie pool now to also give the ducklings some access to water while they're part of the flock now, until they get a little bit bigger and can safely get in and out of that tub. I'm still going to fill that tub, but not as much, because I don't want them drowning in there. I'll have to keep coming out and making sure that there are no ducklings stuck in there. But I'm going to use the kiddie pool. They can get in and out of it easily. They've had plenty of practice while they were in the brooder. So once that's filled, they will have access to water, because I know they're looking for water right now. And everything should be good. Little sidekick is still asleep. I guess we're going after a big nap today after a rough night last night. So that means I still have time to get some other little things done around the property. Oh, really, Patches. So I'm not sure if you've seen them in video, any part of this video yet, but last night I also set the turkeys free. So we've got a bunch of little turkeys running around. They seem happy. They spent their first night out of the brooder last night. Hi, Hank. Hank wasn't too happy about it. If you look on our Instagram, you'll see a video of the turkeys being released. Hank was very unimpressed. But the little turkeys seem to be doing great. They're about 3.5, 4 weeks old right now, I think. Maybe closer to 3. And they're funny. They're funny. They come running up to me. At least one of them is a tom, and he thinks he's tough. Sometimes he tries to fight me, but he hasn't learned yet that we don't do Fight Club here. Or, I mean, he can try, but he's not going to last long if that's how he's going to act. We don't keep mean animals here. Patches is the exception. So it's been a few hours since the last part of the video, and little dude woke up and we had some food, and then we went on some adventures. We needed feed for the animals, so we went to the feed store, and then he got his first haircut, and he looks awesome. He did very well for being 10 months old today and getting his first haircut, but he had the wispies around his ears and he looked kind of goofy. So we got that all cleaned up. It's still long on the top. He looks awesome. I love it. But as an update, I figured I would let you guys know, since I'm not going to do any more projects today. I think I'm done for the day. The ducklings that we let loose earlier are doing great. The geese and the adult ducks have calmed down. They're not picking on the little ducks much anymore. Patches is still being a jerk, but over behind that rooster, you can kind of see the turkeys. They're doing great. Hello, Patches. Yes, star of the show. Hi. And Jukebox, of course. But yep, the turkeys are getting along with the chickens. The chickens are getting along with the turkeys. We have lots of eggs today, which is great. I just should have brought a basket out here with me, because I don't have any pockets that I can fit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs in. Do I have anything in here I can use? I don't think I do. I'm going to have to go get a basket. Very happy to see that there are eggs in the chicken coop. That means that the chickens are not stressed out by me introducing the turkeys and letting the turkeys loose. They have been living together since Monday. They've just been separated within the coop, but still able to see each other and talk to each other. But it seems that my go-to of keeping the new kids in a brooder in the coop is working. Plus, our chickens are so used to new kids that not much phases them at this point. I've got my basket that I grabbed from the kitchen. It does have some eggs in it, but there's room for more. So I'm going to get those eggs out of the coop before I forget about them and they start getting broken. These are very pretty pastel colors. Ooh, look at this one. A little bit of speckling on there. We've got some that are bluish, almost green. Got some blue ones. Got some cream ones. That one right here in the bottom is a duck egg. Hello? Where are you going? Did you come to say hello? There are some chickens that are laying eggs in the goat house now, so I have to go see if the doors are open to see if they got in there and laid some more eggs. Which is obviously, as you guys have learned today, if you didn't know already, a little bit of a jerk. So I had to leave the egg basket outside of their yard because I can almost guarantee that he would try to knock it out of my hand and I'd lose all my eggs. That's why they say don't put all your eggs in the same basket. I feel like now that they're outside, you can see the difference between the blue egg on top and the green eggs that we have. The pink eggs and the cream eggs are kind of blending together now, but we do get some pretty colored eggs. Usually we get stuck with brown and white eggs, but now we suddenly have Easter eggs. I might have to hope that some of the layered birds breeds that I have downstairs lay brown eggs, maybe white eggs. We gotta get the whole rainbow. A quick little update on the brooders. The ducklings are doing great. We bought a feed pan and cut it down so that they could get in and out of it, and we put the water in the feed pan. Acts just like the kiddie pool that we have outside. And it seems to be working well because their bedding, while a little poopy, is still dry and usable. The little bit of shavings in the bottom of that pan are what's keeping the water contained. It's working well. The chickens are also doing great. We kind of have a mix of chickens in here. There's 2-week-olds and 1-week-olds, and then a few day-olds. But they're doing great. Obvious that we have ducks in the house again, even though they've only been here for a day. I opened the basement door and went, oh boy. Even though their mess is contained inside that little feed pan that their water is in, it's still stinky. It was a little bit of a crazy ending to the day. I did my last check on all the brooders and all the coops, and the heat lamp that I've decided to keep out in the duck house for the ducklings, since tonight's going to get cold, wasn't on. So I switched it out with a new bulb, and it still didn't work. So I brought it in the house, handed it to Bill, let him do his electrical magic. The housing itself was fine, but all the bulbs that I just bought don't work. So I called a friend across town in a panic. They said, yep, I've got a bulb, come on over, grab it. And I did, and I got back home, and it took about 40 minutes because across town is a good 20-minute drive. And I got them all set up, and now they won't even go in their coop. They're just outside in the cold, laughing at me. Ducks. So thank you if you've made it this far through today's adventures with me. I appreciate your company. I'm not sure when the next video will be. I've got a busy next few days with some other things that are not farm related. Most of my farm related stuff will be in the afternoon, and I probably won't get much done. But the weekend is coming up, so we'll see what happens. Have a great night.